Right, hello. The purpose of this blog is basically to shout out some people that I know. I've not met all of them personally, but I do know many of them on the internet and so on, and I want to shout them out. I do want to shout out the ones that I have also met and worked with and things like that. So first of all, I want to give a shout out to Taylor, who is massively into the Jonas Brothers. A shout out to Heather, who's in Florida. She's due to be moving soon, so that should be fun. Somewhere I think Missouri, I think. So good luck on that one. I'd like to give a mention to Kathy, who is a really good friend of mine in America. I also want to give a mention to Nicole, who loves Billy Ray Cyrus, and of course Savage Garden, big country fan as well. A mention to Jenna, a very good friend of mine in America. She loves the White Stripes and Jack White, and wishes that maybe one day she would marry him. Don't a lot of people. I also want to give a mention out to Liz and Kate in Birmingham. I think Kate lives in Birmingham, I'm not sure, but Liz does. Big shout out to her. A big shout out to Lindsay in Doncaster. I do actually admit she's one of the very few people on here that I'm actually more close to than anybody. I mean, I've met her a few times off this computer, and she is absolutely amazing girl, and I love her with all my heart, basically. I love all my friends. They mean a lot to me, and Lindsay is one of a good number of people that I'm really close to and special to. So she deserves a mention. Without her, I don't know whether or not she's one person that does keep me alive. I want to give a mention out to Nav, Marion, and Elise, who are into Shaking Steve. I want to give a mention out to Tessa. She's somebody from Sheffield. She did live in Lincoln, but she lives in Sheffield now, and she's really nice, and I do admire speaking to her as well. And of course, who can forget a couple of people off my pitch? AJB, Adam, Tom, Dino, Liverpool fan. Your team. I'm sure you've got it on, but last time I checked, we're winning 3-0. I think it's been about 15, 20 odd minutes, so they probably scored another goal by then. But yeah, your kill, and Jay, I think it's Joe O'Leary on my pitch. I'm not sure, but the one from Cyprus who is kill, and Laura in Nottingham. Laura who wants to save a selector disc. I reckon we should all go around and save it, and that, because Nottingham's a kill place, and it's got Rob Smith's record as well. I don't know if you ever go in there, Laura, but great place. And yeah, my mentions to my pitch did give special ones, you know, AJB and Tom and so on. And I think I'm going to be calling Tom Mr. United. You are a Manchester United, yeah, so we'll call you Mr. United. And also, it's been a year now since I've left work, the dreaded Somerfield, but I do have to admit I miss working there for reasons of a few people that I used to work with. Paul Sainsbury, uh, Tom Lewis, Mr. Lewis, Mr. Queen, who is an absolute big fan of Queen, and Kill Guy, Bianca, Sam, and Marina, Naheem. Not the one not the one that you would expect me to give a mention to, but yeah, I have done. Stuart Gray, who I believe has family or born in Scotland, I'm not sure, but I think so, and I know his dad and mum must have connections, because his dad, I've seen him come round in the store when I was there wearing a Scotland shirt. That begs the question, that does. And I'm sure if you're watching this, Stuart Gray, but my dad also supports Scotland as well. I mean, but well, we have Scottish family, and he lived there for a while. It must have been a good. I would imagine my dad lived there for about trying to think. If he was there when he was 3, if it was at least 20 years, at least. Probably, I would say about 20 years my dad lived in probably a little bit less, but he definitely did all his schooling there and got his first jobs in Scotland, so it does show. And I think he must be mad, because I mean you've got the choice here in international football, England or Scotland. I know who I'd go for. Scotland don't even get a look in. Can't believe my dad even supports them. But we rip him off all the time. Because it's like when England plays Scotland, we're like, England's going to win and that. And when Scotland keep losing, we just jar him off. But, you know. And I want to give a mention out to Laura Robinson, Samantha Gray, Stuart Gray's sister worked there, cool. Richard Mitchell, who's one of the coolest managers that I ever worked with at Somerfield. And I want to actually give this the utmost mention. Well, we'll do David Reynolds as well. We'll mention him, but let's just say that I'm not going to go without mentioning my good old Asian friend, the one that I absolutely adore from Somerfield. Who I can't do a blog without mentioning him and this shout out. But Mazza Hussain, he absolutely is a cool dude. And when I actually left work, he actually texted me. He was the only one who texted me and said, I can't believe they're screwing you over, and all this and that and that. And he actually got me into a little bit more of the Bangu music. He actually had a band called RDB on his mobile, and thought, what do you think to this? And he playing all this, you know, RDB music, which was absolutely brilliant. But he was a great guy to work with. Oh, I've just realised I can't do shout outs on Somerfield without doing John Nutt and Cheryl. I can't forget about them two, because again, like Maz and some other people that I work with, they are people who I actually... The big mentions. John was absolutely a cool dude. He recorded me 9 CDs of music from the noughties that I might not have known, to see what I thought about it, so great. And Cheryl, I can't forget her, can I? One of the nicest, possibly the nicest girl I've ever worked with in the history of work. I mean, I have worked with some people in my time, you know, some nice people, but Cheryl is the nicest. I agree, and that. Although she did become much of a manager, and then she went from being well, a little bit more, you know, but she's still classed as a nice person to work with, even when she was a manager. I got told by her that my name is Speedy Gonzalez, but you see, I don't like to brag about being fast at work, because I was. We've had many of challenges at work. Basically, I remember when we had Mr. Mitchell on at night. It was the case of me and Maz. We had a race. Richard gave me a flatbed of which it consisted of washing powder. It consisted of all this sort of like sort of stuff, you know. And it had lots of little bits on it. It had pretty much a fair bit on it. And he gave that to me, and he said to Maz, you should be able to do your flatbed quicker, because all you've got on there is just basically drink. It's got literally Coke and orange and lemonade. It's quite easy to open, it's quite easy to put out. And who won? Me! I won. I absolutely annihilated him, because I was faster. When Les was there at work once, basically he gave me a flatbed. I went to work. This would be at 3:45. I started work. I clocked in. It must have been time of what, 3:46. He gave me a flatbed. He said to me, "Go and work that flatbed." I came back something like, well, I'm not gonna lie here, but I came back, and this is a God's honest truth. I came back roughly at 3:51, having worked it in 5 minutes. And he looked at me, and he looked at Cheryl, he looked at a few other people and said, "Did you see that?" Because it was fast. If he'd have worked that fast all the time, we wouldn't need anybody else on the shop floor, because I was that fast. you wouldn't have even believed it. But I stopped working fast after a while because I just thought to myself, why should I go around there and work as fast as everybody else? Doing twice as much work, which I would have done, because the more... Cause if I'd have done a flatbed in something like 15 minutes and somebody only does a flatbed in something like 25 minutes, then technically I am going to be doing more work, because the ratio would be they do one flatbed, I do two flatbeds, and I just didn't want that. So anyway, well that's it. That's all I can say about old work and things and mentions to a few people. So bye for now.